Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, April the 29th. That means today is National Peace Rose Day.
Peace Rose.
Yeah, so it's for, roses for peace. It's also a National Zipper Day. So I don't know if you're going to celebrate that on a fly or not.
Oh.
I'm going to celebrate that on the fly. It's National Zipper Day. Anyway, it's National Shrimp Scampi Day today and National Poem in Your Pocket Day. Guess what poem I have in my pocket?
What poem do you have in your pocket?
I don't have any poem in my pocket. I just don't.
Okay.
But I should have. I'll write one and stick it in there to celebrate today.
You want me to say a poem?
No, I don't. I made that mistake once. Then I found out the kind of poems you know. And we can't say those on the radio. But I do have a very interesting Dear John letter. I posted this on the internet on Tuesday, maybe? I don't know. It was earlier this week. And some interesting conversations already rolling on this. It's about Mother's Day. And, anyway, we'll get to it here in a bit. If you're interested, you can chime in at facebook.com/JohnandHeidiShow.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new study found that people who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day are more alert and have a better memory, Heidi. More alert, better memory.
Well,
3 to 5 cups a day.
Can't help but be alert if you're having 3 to 5 cups of coffee.
I probably have that much coffee.
I don't. I don't have anywhere near that.
Think about how much like the regular person's cup is, and then, look at this giant thing that I have here.
Yeah,
that's probably 3 to 5 cups right there.
I always fill a cup and then I don't even drink hardly any of it. So,
big fan. New study finds smoking marijuana can radically alter key visual functions in the human eyes. Spanish study reveals smoking cannabis negatively impacts your visual acuity, contrast sensitivity, three-dimensional vision, which is stereopsis, and then also focus and glare sensitivity. So all of those things decrease are not as good if you're smoking marijuana. So don't do that. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. A drug runner's fluffy white cat was caught trying to smuggle narcotics into a prison in Panama. The feline felon was carrying some contraband in a little pouch tied around his neck when it was stopped outside of the prison.
This happens a lot.
The animal had a cloth tied around their neck, contained wrapped packages of white powder, leaves, and vegetable matters, they said, head of the penitentiary system. Substances were likely cocaine and marijuana, according to another official. Local prosecutors say they opened an investigation into the use of animals for sneaking illegal substances into this facility. There's over 1,700 prisoners in there. Meanwhile, prosecutors said the criminal cat in question will be taken to a pet adoption center.
Okay.
So hopefully the cat will find a good home. The cat didn't know he was doing anything wrong. Cat was like, I get to go see somebody
no,
again.
Of course the cat didn't.
It's not the cat's fault. Not at all. But that is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The 93rd Academy Awards went off this last weekend without a hitch.
They did.
And without a viewer, really. Actually, there were some. There were some people to watch, but not many. Ratings for the ceremony were at an all-time low. Shows that, and many people were saying ahead of time they were not watching. And when they said, why won't you watch the show? They say, because it's too political.
Yep.
So that is why a lot of people said, next. Star Trek Discovery had to shut down production in Toronto after an offset COVID contact. So they had a little COVID scare, and they're like, okay, we're going to shut her down for a bit. And then in the news, this is a weird story. Ellen DeGeneres is being criticized for driving Porsche to the ER after consuming 3 weed drinks. So she wasn't feeling well, so she took her to the emergency room.
Okay, that's not a weird story. You don't drive with weed in your system.
No, I don't think that she had...
Oh.
I think that Portia wasn't feeling well, so she
Oh.
took... I don't know. Well, maybe the way you just said it, maybe that's why it is. Okay, see, I don't know. I'm confused. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. A Japanese man has gone viral after he was arrested for dating 35 women at once. The reason he was
Is that
dating,
illegal?
Apparently. The reason, well, he was lying to them. So what he was arrested for is the second half here. He lied to these women, dated 35 women at a time, so he could get more birthday presents. Now, online, people are going, yeah, that's what he was wanting, was the birthday presents.
But is that illegal?
Well, the women found out about each other, realized that he gave each of them a different date, so he would have birthday presents coming in all year long.
You gotta admit, it's not a bad scam.
35 women, that'd be 35 presents. That's a gift more than every other week. Every other week would be 26 gifts. So he had more than, not quite one every
But
week.
if he's expecting gifts from them, isn't he also giving gifts to them?
You would think so. I don't know how all this shook out, but it's an interesting story. Taco Bell is creating a new meat alternative made of peas and chickpeas. So if you're interested in that. Cardi B is looking to release her own line of beauty products. So a lot of folks are super excited about that. I have no idea. I bet somebody is. And Elon Musk has a very bizarre quote. I hear like a plane flying over right now. Maybe this is them right now, but it says, Elon Musk admits that, quote, a bunch of people will probably die during the SpaceX mission to Mars, but it will be a glorious and amazing experience for Voyagers, end quote.
A bunch of people will die.
So he's saying, not everybody's going to make it, but, we're going to have fun trying.
Wow. I think
and then
I'll
stock
stay
prices
here.
went up after that. I'm like, how in the world? I'm very confused by all of that. And good news from California. I think this is good news. California Highway 1 has reopened now along the area where Big Sur had collapsed in January. Now they reopened that. So things are somewhat back to normal-ish. And whatever was just flying over seems to be gone now. So I wonder if that was SpaceX just hovering over the studio. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And it's time right now for Dear John Letters. All right, I got a letter here that's kind of sad, Heidi. I'm not happy about sad letters because I always feel really bad about bumming people out. But I wanted to share this one, not because of our advice, like our advice is not so great usually, but the advice of our listeners who chime in on Facebook. It always amazes me, some of the greatest advice. When I say amazed, I know you guys are awesome, so that's the cool thing. But there's always just like great advice that comes from people there. So if you hear this letter and you think, you know what, John, you are way off base, here's how I would respond, you can do that every single week at Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And here's the letter for this week. It says, Dear John, my parents divorced last year. They waited until I graduated and moved out. I'm the youngest of 4 kids. We always spent Mother's Day at my parents' house, and we spent time with my mom and my dad's mother, too. This year, I feel pulled in two directions. My dad is throwing a fit because I'm going to be with my mom on Mother's Day. He wants me to be there with him and his mother. I love my grandmother dearly, but I think I need to be with my mom for this. It's her first Mother's Day alone. She decided to move, so she is in a small apartment. My dad is in our family home. Now his new girlfriend lives there as well with her youngest daughter. My dad's making me feel guilty for missing out on this when his girlfriend's daughter will be there. Well, she lives there. I'm picking my mom's side for this, but I feel bad. Any advice for me to not feel like a bad granddaughter? Is there any way that I can make everyone happy? Signed, Torn Teen. This is really kind of sad because that's one of the things that happens when people break up and there's, you have to pick and choose, and it is tough because you're like, how in the world do I do both? Now, I don't know if they live close by,
Right.
if you could go to both, but here's what you could do. There's a whole lot of days. There's not just one day. There's like 7 days every week, and there's, 365 days every year. So you could reach out to your grandmother ahead of time, and I'll bet grandmother will probably understand if you say, hey, you know what, it's my mom's first Mother's Day alone. And it doesn't say in here anywhere what her siblings are doing. So I don't know if the other kids are going to be with mom, if the other kids are going to be with dad. I have no idea. But if you just talk to grandma and say, hey, I want to spend some time with you on Saturday or some time with you on Monday or a different day, spend a special day with grandmother. But then you can still spend your Mother's Day with your mother. I think that's what I would do. What would you say, Heidi?
To me, this is a no-brainer. It's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
There's a Grandparents' Day. Grandparents' Day you can spend with your grandparents. Mother's Day is meant to be spent with your mother.
But I
So
understand.
she's making the right call. Mother's Day.
I agree. But I
Your
also
mother.
understand where her dad's coming from.
Did you miss a part where it says mother?
I got that part.
Okay.
But her dad is celebrating Mother's Day with his mom.
Well, great.
And
That's
they've
his mom,
had a
not her
tradition
mom.
of always having the grandkids there too. So I can see where he's coming from. But again, it doesn't sound like this divorce was necessarily a fun
It's
thing
Mother's
for
Day.
anybody.
Go see your mother.
How do you feel about this, Heidi?
It's Mother's Day.
I'm
just saying.
Where should
Mother's
she
Day.
be?
Where should she be on Father's Day? I'm just saying.
Oh, hey. That's the thing. If you should tell your mom to throw a barbecue on Father's Day.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
it's,
don't do that. I am just teasing. If you like Heidi's advice, and I guess your advice is kind of like my advice because my advice is to spend the time with your mom. If you like Heidi's advice and my advice, you can do that. If you want to chime in with your own advice for Torn Teen, you're absolutely welcome to do that as well. We post this early in the week at facebook.com/JohnandHeidiShow. And you go on there, and I have it so anybody that wants to can chime in with advice for whoever sends the letter. Now, the other thing I want to let you know, if you would like to submit a Dear John letter for next week or sometime in the future, you can do it right through that same place. And we always keep it anonymous. You'll notice how it said signed Torn Teen. I don't put the person's name out there. And when you're sending it through Facebook, it's going to come to me. It's not going to be posted anywhere where anybody will see what your question is. It comes to us privately. Now, we will see it, but I don't post that anywhere. If you decide, I don't want to do it that way because I don't even want John to know who I am, submit it through our website then. There's a form on there. I never know where those come from. And that's at johnandheidishow.com. But I love the opportunity to answer questions for people. And again, I don't think our answers to your questions are all that great, but I love the answers that our Dear John letter respondents on Facebook give. We have some great ones on there. And you can chime in too. Facebook.com/JohnandHeidiShow.
addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Some people have an extra bone in their knee. And it's getting more and more common. If you're under the impression the human body had finished evolving, think again, according to this. It turns out some people have a bone in their knee called a fabella, F-A-B-E-L-L-A.
Do they know what the bone does?
While this particular bone, with an unknown purpose, was once fading away over the last century and a half, it's gotten more and more common. 1875, 18% of the people examined had a fabella. That number dropped to 11% 100 years ago by 1918. By 2018, 39% of individuals had a fabella. So for some unknown reason, It was going away, and now it's coming back with a vengeance. It's this little extra bone. I'm feeling my knee to see, do I have it?
I don't know if I would know even if I felt something.
I feel bones. I probably have it. I don't know. What are these other bones? Maybe it's just the regular bone. That's today's fun fact. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, radiotravelgroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline England. A royal author claims, wait a minute, what is a royal author? So they have like just an author that does nothing but royalty writing?
Probably.
Well, there we go. Dateline, United Kingdom. A royal author claims that Prince Philip had only one complaint about Queen Elizabeth during their marriage.
Which was?
It doesn't say. Apparently, this royal author wants us to read the royal book.
This royal offers a royal.
Yeah, that's a royal pain. That wasn't very nice. I don't know what the complaint was. If you want to know, read the royal book, apparently. That is a news headline from somewhere in this world. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A man wanted on a warrant in Texas allegedly stole and crashed an Indiana State Police car after a high-speed interstate chase. State trooper in Indianapolis investigating suspicious activity with a 1999 Ford pickup truck being parked behind an abandoned vehicle on the interstate at about 4 p.m. The trooper then encountered a man who allegedly fled after a struggle. The car he'd been driving was stolen. Police say the man, identified as Philip Lane Hurley Jr., then stole the officer's patrol car.
Oh, geez.
Took off, got up to 140 miles per hour before crashing. Struck a semi-tractor trailer, like a semi. Escaped the wreck, thank goodness. Didn't die doing that. Because you get in a crash at 140, that's bad. You could easily die, but he didn't. Then he took off and they fled on foot. He tried to steal 2 other vehicles and then police took him into custody. He was hospitalized for minor injuries related to the crash and will be formally arrested and charged once he's released from the hospital. So
When you steal a cop's car, you're not messing around.
no,
It's
that's
like,
a bad idea though.
go to jail. Go directly
Yeah.
to jail. Do not pass go.
Nothing smart about any of
Do
that.
not collect $200.
Do not do any of that. It's today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Police responded to a report of an intruder at a California home. They broke down the front door, they stormed the house, and they found the suspected burglar. It was the owner's robot vacuum cleaner. Yeah. She said her 2-year-old daughter was sleeping at their home when she was awakened by sounds that she
Her
thought
2-year-old?
was an intruder. Say about 1 a.m. I hear over my meditation music, boom, boom, boom. And she thought somebody was in her home and texted friends saying, I think I have a
Her
burglar.
2-year-old?
No, she was with her 2-year-old. She and her 2-year-old were sleeping at their home. I'm sorry. She and her 2-year-old.
All right, I was
they were
like, what in
snoozing.
the world is going on here?
She thought someone was in the house and they said, just call the police. So they hid in the bathroom. She said, I'm in the upstairs. I'm hiding. I don't know what's going on. I hear something banging around downstairs.
That's embarrassing.
They kicked in the front door.
Oh,
and they said, well, it turns out
man.
the kid turned on the vacuum cleaner because they didn't want to do chores.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
They've had the vacuum for almost 2 years, and she didn't even know it went downstairs. So that's really kind of funny.
Awkward.
Yeah. Well, never mind. It's not a burglar. Who fixes the front door? Is that me or is that me? I'll just get it. I'll fix that. All right. Your moment of duh, brought to you by radiosavings.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Heidi, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Meadow Springs, Auburn Hills, Michigan. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Meadow Springs.
These are tough.
This is a toughie.
I'll say it is a rehab center.
And the answer is Rehab Center. Yeah. Good job, Heidi. I really thought you were going to blow that one.
Did you?
Yeah, because that sounds like a golf course to me.
Thank you for the confidence.
No, I would have guessed golf course, but no, it is a rehab center, and that is how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com, and I love this story. A community celebrates World War II veterans' 100th birthday with a 100-vehicle parade. City of Frisco, Texas came out in full force to celebrate with one of their oldest residents with a 100-vehicle parade. Bernie Sutter turned 100 years old April the 7th. He is a World War II veteran. He's a grandfather of 3 and a great-grandfather of 8. And his family said they were just ecstatic with the turnout because so many people came out.
That's super cool.
And they said, sadly, his memories are fading, but his daughter said it's days like this that keep his memory alive. And he gets to remember the sacrifice that he made for his country and all of these people who are coming out to say thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I love that.
I'm extremely proud of him. We need to pass along to our children what these people were able to do to save our freedoms that we have today.
That's right.
I've got a video here that you can actually see this amazing parade. And there's a photo of him today at 100 years young, right next to a photo of him from the 1940s in his uniform when he was serving in World War II. Handsome young man. And you know what? Still a handsome man. A darn cool message right there, or darn cool story rather right there, and I've got a link to it. If you're into that kind of thing, you can check it out in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.